you have to say it buo. The UP Fighting Maroons Team 2. But once we say it once sa intro, kanari, di ba sinabi natin na game for today, the UP Fighting Maroons Team 2 facing up against SDCA Pikemen. I almost fucking forgot. After that, UP Team 2. Face. Huwag mo siya bilisan. And smile a bit. Get a bit loose. Tangin. Teka, mag-iiba coverage mo after na master ko. Mag-iiba yan.
Excited ka ako eh.
Yes, sir.
New tricks up your sleeve.
I think it's more of learning more about the industry.
Yeah.
Not much sa coverage mo.
Definitely composure.
Yep. I think, yeah, they do. They don't teach you it. They give you drills.
Rinarattle ka para mas makompose ka.
Yeah. Honestly, yes.
Parang sa lipad, kami na ganun. Lagi kaming minumura, tinitingnan kung grace under pressure meron ka. Parang ganun.
Now you gotta fly high. Ibang fly high, ha?
Alam na natin.
Alam ko na yung fly high, eh.
friends to bet for you is not allowed either. You must never improperly influence results or incidents within a game, no matter how small, or engage in corrupt conduct by either giving or receiving a bribe. Never share inside information with one who could use it for betting. FIBA closely monitors betting markets. It has eyes on any suspicious activity, sending investigators to interview players and gather evidence every time there is a suspicion of match fixing. Remember, as a professional, your behavior matters, especially in the way you treat your teammates, fellow players, staff. Even attempting to break a rule could land you in trouble. Above all, play with respect, reject corruption, gambling, and all other dangers to the sport, and use basketball to make a better world. This is our game. Play it straight.
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! The Only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
No worries dahil only ang saya will TNT Saya All. May only FB, only IG, only Messenger, only TikTok, only ML, only chikahan, plus data for all apps and sites. Sulit talaga, kaya lipat at load na sa TNT.
We started ang family business talaga namin. Talaga sari-sari store ang negosyo namin. So sa sari-sari store namin, same building, meron kaming on the side na dress shop. Yan ang sabi ni Mama. Dress shop, hindi pa to sports. I mean, nagagawa lang kami, nagre-repair lang kami ng mga damit. From there, may pumunta sa kanyang friend or client na nagpagawa ng parang how many pieces of t-shirts. So from there, yung makina niya, kaya naman gawin yung shirt, doon na nag-start yung paggawa niya ng uniform. Kung paano yung sinimulan ni Mama, siguro yun pa rin naman yung nararamdaman namin. Pero in a different perspective na. Talagang pag nanood ngayon tayo ng TV, when we watch yung different sports, kunyari nanood tayo ng basketball, makikita natin yung PBA. Pag nanood tayo ng volleyball, makikita natin yung LGR. Iba na yung pakiramdam na yung brand is overall, nakikita na lahat.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
The sun is down and the stage is set, and the continued coverage of the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup continues. Mix Gonzalez here with Justin Almeda, and later on, we'll be hearing from Daphne Lozano, our courtside reporter. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Justin, good to be back here with you.
Yes, and it's good to be back here finally in Season 4 of the Collegiate Cup with 2 amazing games today.
And let's get right into the action right now for game number 1. Preview muna tayo. Sino ba yung makakaharap na teams natin in the heavyweight face-offs for tonight for game number 1? It's gonna be the UP Fighting Maroons team number 2 against the Sdca Pikemen. And for game number 2 later on, it's gonna be the UP Fighting Maroons team 1 against the LPU Pirates. So tignan natin ngayon, ano ba yung standings? Saan ba tumatayo yung mga kupunan natin ngayon?
Well, of course, we talk about the St. Dominic College of Asia Pikemen, who are number 1 in the Prime Division, in the Group Edge Division, with a 2-0 record, and itong UP Fighting Maroons naman, Team 2 is number 2 with a 2-1 record.
So it's a battle of number 1 and number 2 seeds right now. Let's talk about the ones sa Pikemen side. Talking about their previous game, showing on your screens right now, titignan natin how they did in their previous game. It was a win against Mapua.
Of course, you know, St. Dominic Pikemen defeating the NCAA champions 85-61 in their previous in their previous game. It was their outside shooting supremacy that was definitely their advantage, as they made 23 pointers compared to 7 from the from Mapua.
I mean, St. Dominic just clicking from 3 all game long. They found their stride in the second half and eventually putting the nail on the coffin against the Cardinals. And taking a look at the specific pointers that they have against this UP Fighting Maroons team, what do they have to do here?
You know, they were the smaller team in their last outing, but their game plan was on point. They shot from the outside and they ran. They created turnovers and turned them into easy fast break points. So they can really replicate that today.
And in terms of the specific players, sino ba yung mga A player dito sa St. Dominic who are the main scoring threats against this UP squad?
Well, definitely, we were talking about outside scoring. So Joseph Timtiman is on the top of that list.
Absolutely.
But they also have, you know, their veteran Michael Sosing and Jay De Manuel, who is a scrappy slashing guard. So these guys have to be physical. If they can disrupt the offense of UP, then they can put themselves in a position to win.
Looking at the other side now, UP Fighting Maroons Team 2, hindi yan magpapatalo as they got a landslide win against the Guangming College Flying Dragons. 13-point win here.
Yes, 13-point win, and look at the rebounding department.
Wow.
They out-rebounded them by 29 points. So of course, Guangming did not have a Hebem, so that was a big problem for them. But it's always the system of UP. You know, they had 4 players in double digits that time, and they are definitely a well-oiled machine, as they have 18 assists compared to 9 over Guangming.
And the specific pointers ng UP nito, I mean, we already know that these guys have the height over this St. Dominic team, and they're looking to take advantage here. So any other pointers for this Maroon squad?
And of course, their inside scoring dominance. They have Francis Noruka right now, who is definitely taller than most of the players here. But the other thing that they do well is, they're a well-oiled machine. So if they can have constant motion, that ball keeps moving around, they can be unpredictable in the offensive side of the court.
That's enough from us for now, Justin. Pakinggan naman natin ang ating courtside reporter na si Daphne Lozano.
Magandang gabi mga kaliga. Before we start our Tuesday doubleheader, beside me are players from both teams. But first, on my right side is Alvin Isaac of the St. Dominic Pikemen. Alvin, matanong lang kita, ano kaya ang meron ang team nyo na wala ang kalaban nyo?
Sa tingin ko po, yung puso namin and mentality namin sa loob ng court, and yun yung dinevelop namin all throughout the year po sa program ng St. Dominic. So yun lang po.
Thank you so much, Alvin, and good luck sa inyo. And now on my left side is Migs Iniguez of the UP Fighting Maroons. So Migs, what do you think is the edge of your team?
The edge of our team is size and athleticism, and we'll use that to offensive rebound and attack the rim.
Thank you so much, Migs. Also, good luck to you. Balik sa inyo, Migs and Justin.
Thank you, Daphne. And that was once again our courtside reporter, Daphne Lozano, with Migs Iniguez and Alvin Isaac of the St. Dominic Pikemen and the UP Fighting Maroons. Ngayon naman, our friendly wager here, Justin. Right now, I got the undersized but overhearted St. Dominic Pikemen on this matchup. But how about you?
You know, I think magkukulang yung heart ngayon, so I'm choosing skill and athleticism. So
Okay.
I'm going with the UP Fighting Maroons Team 2.
Okay, but let's let the action speak for itself. Game number 1, the UP Fighting Maroons Team 2 against the St. Dominic Pikemen. Both teams have released the starting infantry, and game number 1 is underway between the UP Fighting Maroons team number 2 and the Sdca Pikemen. And the St. Dominic Pikemen has been having a very good start in the Collegiate Cup so far with a 2-0 record. The team 2 only going away with 1 loss. a very big heavyweight matchup we have today, Justin.
And I was talking about this earlier. You know, I know it's too early in the season, but if St. Dominic gets the win today, then maybe we can call them the championship slayers.
Pwede. And it's gonna be a big statement. And starting off hot was Alvin Isaac in the corner. And kung sa mga nakapanood sa huling laro ng St. Dominic Pikemen, kasing laki ng dagat yung yung ring para sa kanila. And each three just went in the second half, and they could not miss a single shot in the last 20 minutes of play.
And not only just in the second half. You know, in the first half, they already made 8 3-pointers. That's a lot for one half of basketball.
Zeze, the newly acquired player of the Pikemen, getting the starting nod from head coach Bong de la Cruz. Isaac tries to go 2 for 2. Misses on that one. Remogat looks to push, finds Baila but intercepted. Excellent hustle by Timtiman. Iniguez looking for Nuroka. Looking to go one-on-one against Zeze. Could not convert. Oreb here for UP. Another chance. Briones in the corner, matches 3 for 3.
Fighting fire with fire here. UP also lighting it from the outside.
Jesse Sabayo, again starting here for St. Dominic. He has started for the entire start of the season here for the Pikemen. Timtiman in the corner, no good. And UP will have to look at shutting down the outside shooting of the Pikemen here if they want the chance to stay in the game. But personnel-wise, UP has the clear advantage here. Briones goes 2 for 2.
Chico Briones liking the shot from the corner. Goes 2 for 2 right now.
Chico Briones was the previous player of the game of the Team 2 of the Fighting Maroons here. And we know what he can do off the court, but Zeze looking to put the Fighting Maroons on a poster earlier in the first quarter. Shot so nice. Well, almost shot so nice. You gotta see it twice. Tignan natin if may instant replay tayo dun. In that poster attempt, trying to put Baila back in Katipunan.
That's how nice the play was, no? Kahit hindi pumasok yung dunk.
Narinig kasi tayo. So thank you to our broadcast team for indulging us with that instant replay. But I mean, let's talk about Max Zeze for a while. The newly acquired FSA of the St. Dominic Pikemen squad. I understand that I think this is your first time seeing him live, no? But from the previous games, medyo malamig talaga yung start nito ni Max. His perimeter shot, may forma siya, he can post up, but now mas lumabas na siya sa shell niya, especially after that last game.
And what I'm seeing in the first 2.5 minutes of this ball game, his IQ on the defensive end is very impressive. You know, he's forcing Nuruka to shoot those perimeter jumpers. As we said, no, Nuruka is definitely an inside presence, but if he takes him outside, takes him out of his comfort zone, then that's basically half the job.
Max Zeze missing on that 3, but the smallest man on the floor getting the offensive rebound, Jesse Sabayo. Timtiman looking to dance with Briones. Gets a step back, passes it out to Sabayo. And that's the UP height, proving a problem for the Pikemen. Remogat, hesitation, intercepted by Timtiman. Briones a bit late on the defensive end. Now Timtiman will reset.
Timtiman was wide open there momentarily.
Timtiman looks to isolate against Nuruka. Isaac, no good. And Zeze will be whistled for the foul. Ball will go back to the Fighting Maroons. And speaking of bench depth, no? I mean, actually, di pa pala natin napapag-usapan yung bench depth so far. Pero kakapasok lang para sa UP itong sina Seven Gagate and RV Poyos. I mean, this RV Poyos, I could go on and on about this guy. Coming from Mindanao, Sultan Kudarat to be specific, and Seven Gagate from Cebu naman. So the pride's outside of Metro Manila, yung bagong pasok para kay Head Coach Golden.
You know, Poyos' numbers don't jump out the box, but you know, his impact in the ball game is definitely something to watch out for.
But it looks like Remogat crashed the floor earlier. Hindi ko lang napansin yun. And looks like he's fine being escorted by the coaching staff of UP here. So UP still will retain possession. Hopefully he's okay. He's going to take a breather for now.
Something seems to be bothering his face.
Tilos ngayon papasok para sa St. Dominic. Twin Towers na ngayon para sa Pikemen. Itong si Tilos and Fernandez. Uupo muna si Zeze. Briones gets it inside to Baila. Gagate. Breakfast time.
There it is again. That's why they had 18 assists in the last game. They just have a knack for finding the cracks in the defense.
Here come the multiple handoffs again of the Pikemen. Trying to find the disadvantage, pero parang wala dito. Lahat mas matangkad. I believe that's gonna be a foul against Poyos. Yep, that's gonna be a hold against RV. Itong RV Poyos, I can liken him to a Mark Nonoy. Pwede siyang Tony Inot, pwede siyang Jason Castro. I mean, the speed of this guy. And the perimeter shot, of course, also needs a bit more work. Pero yung speed pa lang, hirap na hirap din mga defenders makipag-keep up sa kanya.
Oh, and very exciting to watch yan for us and the fans.
Timtiman, kicks it out to Isaac. Step back jumper. Lista mo na yan. Isaac with 5 quick points here for Coach Bong de la Cruz. Baila out to Poyos. Briones from the same spot. Does not get the shooter's bounce. And that's going to be a hold against number 42. That is Miko Fernandez.
Should I say a heat check from Chico Briones?
I mean, he landed 2 earlier. So, parang hindi na heat check. Preheat the oven na lang yun eh. Iniguez looking to break free. Baila carve some space underneath, but UP too big and too good. Pero to add some more context into our storytelling, pakinggan naman natin ang ating courtside reporter na si Daphne Lozano. Daphne?
Head coach Goldwyn Monteverde of the UP Fighting Maroons shared how he aims to instill in his boys to treat every game like it is a championship game. Lalong-lalo na they have a season to prepare for. Their focus should be towards their own development than paying more attention towards others. Aside from winning, Coach Goldwyn also wants to see where their program is currently at so that they could pinpoint what needs to be continued and left behind as they go up against more teams in the coming months. Mga Kaliga, we all know that UP is indeed one of the top teams in the country. But Migs and Justin, ano pa ba ang gusto nyong makita from the Fighting Maroons?
Thank you, Daphne. And definitely, kahit sobrang star-studded and talent-filled itong Fighting Maroon squad as Iniguez hits a tough fadeaway. Coach Golden making a surprise appearance today for the Fighting Maroons, apparently wanting to see where the program is at right now. You have Baila, you have Iniguez, you have Kagate, and a handful of other stars here in the Fighting Maroon squad. But we also have to remember, no, Justin, both of these teams are preparing for their mother leagues. I mean, yes, nag-rotate ng personnel. Yes, you treat every game like a championship game. Kasi doon na lumalabas yung results sa mother leagues nila.
Oh, and of course, you know, Coach Goldwyn Monteverde coming into this ball game, they're not going against an easy team. They might not be as known as the other teams here, but definitely their 2-0 record speaks for itself.
J. De Manuel tries to go corner hunting, but Poyos will recollect. Cross court to Briones. Iniguez, easy shot. And yun yung ginagawa ng UP ngayon, no? Konting rotate lang sa labas, tapos one of them is open inside. 7-point lead now for the Fighting Maroons.
Going to their strong suit. Iniguez with back-to-back jumpers from the elbow already.
Dakiwag fishing for the foul against Baila. And that's some advanced basketball IQ for Dakiwag there. That's the replay on that last Iniguez shot. Tapos yun pa yung nakakatakot, no, para sa St. Dominic. Kapag na-contest mo naman si Iniguez, nag-overcommit ka, that's an easy drop pass to 7 Kagate.
We've seen it multiple times in this first quarter. The interior passing, you know, overcommitment from St. Dominic, napapasa sa loob, easy 2 points.
But St. Dominic has been doing a great job in containing this UP offense kahit papano. They've been keeping in step in the perimeter, and their shooting has been cooperative, to say the least, no? But that time, hindi nakapagpasok ng tira si J. De Manuel. RV Poyos down the other side. Autoong. Zeze looking for a highlight. Floater down the lane. De Manuel inhales it. Sorry, that was Amante. And that is going to be a foul on 7 Gagate.
I can see why you were saying Poyos is such an entertaining athlete.
Wala pa yan, Justin. Wala pa yan, I'm telling you. So it's just the first quarter. I mean, if you haven't if hindi pa kayo nanonood sa Enderun Titan Gym, I'd like to invite everyone to catch the continued coverage of the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup on www.pusop.com, the Smart Sports Facebook page, and the Pinoyliga Cup's Facebook and YouTube channel. Special thanks as well to our official outfitter, LGR, official venue partner, the ENDERUN Colleges, our official ticketing partner, Ticket to Me. And special thanks as well to our partners in Pinoyliga.com, Smart 5G, Buffalo's Wings and Things, Eastern Communications, and Amelie Hotel Manila. The Pinoy Liga is a proud member of the Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas. Amante out to the Kiwag. Wing triple. That was a better look there for St. Dominic.
And Iniguez has really started out hot. I think he already has 7 points right now.
And Gagate just, it's baby food down there. That easy drop pass for UP. I mean, if you were in the huddle now of St. Dominic, and I'm amazed that, not amazed, sorry, not just surprised that St. Dominic hasn't called timeout yet. What adjustments would you make defensively, especially to guard that drop pass down low?
Well, that was exactly what was on our keys to winning earlier. You know, the physicality of St. Dominic has to be there. Yung mga passing lanes nila, they have to somehow disrupt it, get a hand on those passes. Because if you give them a hard time, hindi nila napapapunta yung bola kung saan nila gustong pumunta, then it's much easier for St. Dominic.
The Kiwag almost with an end one, but could not finish with the free throw. Gets it into 7, Gagate. There's the swipe by De Manuel.
Exactly what you need from St. Dominic.
De Manuel now will reset. And if we know anything about St. Dominic, they love making the most out of that shot clock. But shooting relatively early was Daniel Sepnio, our previous player of the game. For St. Dominic naman, he had 20 points in their last outing. Parang wala talagang mintis nung second half itong si Sepnio.
Pero knowing Coach Gold and the UP Fighting Maroons, I'm sure he's on the scouting report.
Oh, yeah.
He had 6 out of 8 from 3 points.
I mean, looking at the defensive scheme here of the Fighting Maroons, no, they know that St. Dominic is a heavy shooting team coming from the last game. Anong adjustment yung ginagawa nila dito specifically for the Pikemen?
Well, what I'm seeing now is they're putting a lot of length in their lineup. So, it's easier to cover the outside shooting kasi since mas mahaba nga yung player, onting taasan ng kamay, nagugulo na yung tira.
Zeze could not finish after Noroka bothered that shot. Inside, tries to go in for the end one but could not connect. Was Payosing. James Payosing, seeing his second game in the Collegiate Cup. De Manuel navigating through the very tall traffic cones. The Kiwag has 8 seconds. Works on Poyos. Could not manufacture a shot on that one. Pushes it to De Manuel. Intercepted. Amante. Skies against De Manuel. Almost a block by Nuruka. That's an obvious goaltend. Kung yun ba naman, kung hindi pa goaltend yun, magugulat na lang ako.
Pero fearless drive para kay Amante, challenging the defense of Nuruka.
I mean, alam natin yan tungkol kay Chad Amante. Yan ang Ryan Reyes ng St. Dominic Pikemen. Immediate energy yan. You can expect him to crash the boards all the time, be in your face on the defensive end, and make those buwis-buhay drives. Ika nga.
Medyo lugi siya sa matchup na yun, pero I love the no hesitations on that drive.
UP chance for the last shot. Corner triple. Patay butiki doon. St. Dominic with 3 to work with. De Manuel putting on the gas. Up and under. Fishes for the foul, I believe, against Nuruka.
Shot going nowhere there, but turning it into something as he drew the foul from Nuruka.
Na-realize niya kasi, na UP was just trying to contest the shot. Di naman siguro na napapansin kung saan napapunta si De Manuel. Palabas na ba sa pintura? Papasok. Last second substitution rather for St. Dominic. De Manuel with a chance for 2. Sinks the first. I mean, talking about Jay De Manuel now, in Michael Sosing's absence for the St. Dominic team, he has more than filled the shoes for the Pikemen.
I remember in the Next Man Cup or even in our previous collegiate tournaments, he used to be the developmental player, and now he's turning into one of the key pieces of the Pikemen.
Ramogat with a last-second Hail Mary will not connect. 19-13 is the score so far. The Fighting Maroons in the driver's seat with a 6-point lead against the undefeated Pikemen. 10 more minutes in the first half remaining for game number 1 of the continued coverage of the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup. Stay tuned, mga kaliga. And nagbabalik tayo sa continued coverage ng Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup. You can continue to catch our games at www.pusop.com, the Smart Sports Facebook page, the Pinoyliga Cup's Facebook and YouTube channel. Special thanks to our official outfitter, LGR, official venue partner, ENDERUN Colleges, the official ticketing partner, Ticket to Me. Special thanks to our partners as well in Eastern Communications, Buffalo's Wings and Things, Smart, Amelie Hotel Manila, Pinoyliga.com, and we are a proud member of the Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas. Going back to the game, Justin, a 6-point lead for UP here. I did not expect this close of a game so far, especially for St. Dominic.
And of course, UP doing a good job in the interior passing. Malaking tulong na si Iniguez was hitting shots from the elbow and forcing the defender to close out. Ang dami niya mga drop pass na nabibigay sa ilalim, and that's care of his hot shooting from yung sa elbow nga.
Good off-ball screen for Zeze there. Just could not convert on that three. Cedric Ong, one of the prodigies from St. Stephen's High School, getting that shot from the wing, and there's the double by St. Dominic. Suffocating defense, but Ekarma gets it. But that's the shot you want if you're St. Dominic now, out of UP. And yeah, no bad blood there. Just helping the opposing team up after that brand of defense by St. Dominic. But the question is, can they keep that up until the fourth quarter? I'm not sure if you've seen yung games ng JRU. They really gave CSB a run for their money in that first game. Led by no one other than Sanlea Peñaverde in that last one. Of course, with Justin Lozano, Harry Herrera. Hirap na hirap yung CSB nun because the defense and the energy of JRU was almost always for the first tip off as Remogat lands that three-pointer.
Yun na nga, it really has to be, 100% in-your-face defense by St. Dominic. And you really have to be in shape. When you do that, conditioning plays a big part in defense, so you can play 100%.
Shot clock now reads 5. De Manuel tries to go against Gagate. Fishes for the foul against Briones.
Unsuccessful on the fishing expedition in that previous possession.
Ay, wala palang foul, yes. But 3 seconds to work with here. Trying to look for Zeze. Pass is not there. Max gets it. He has to shoot. Not enough time. And that's going to be a shot clock violation against St. Dom.
Zeze not realizing the shot clock was running down. Should have taken that jumper.
He could have had the fadeaway in that, I mean, not a clean catch and shoot.
Is it in his arsenal? Itong si Zeze?
Di pa 100%, pero pwede. Mahirap na siyang iwanan. Enough. Gagate receives it in the painted area. Payosing naman. Di makapag-ambag sa ambon. Gagate with the O-Reb. Gives it to Remogat. Lumapit ng konti. James with security.
wide open, Payosing, and of course, easy 2 there.
And St. Dominic can't let this game get away from them. If it's something that they have to do offensively, of course, it's clicking from 3. But defensive intensity has to be there time after time. The Manuel looking to isolate against the much bigger Iniguez. Dakiwag got him on the jump. But that's the shot you want if you're St. Dom. Remogat all the way. Butata inabot ni Dakiwag. And a second block by Tim Timan.
A skillful move there by Ray Remogat, however, met by 2 white shirts.
Good transition D here by St. Dom. Isaac now will check in for the Pikemen. Remogat looking for Payosing. Iniguez trying to look for it. Gets the O-Reb. And a second chance for UP. Quick pass to Iniguez, and that's easy money. Pakinggan naman natin ating courtside reporter, Daphne Lozano, when we come back from this timeout. We'll be right back. 26-13 is our score. Stay tuned, mga kaliga.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! Be Unli with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus Unli Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
And coming back into our coverage of the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup for game number 1 between the UP Fighting Maroons team number 2 and the St. Dominic Pikemen. This lead continues to inflate here for UP. St. Dominic has to put out the fire soon.
Well, here in the early second quarter, what I'm seeing right away is UP's offensive rebounding. They're getting more than 1 shot per possession, and the energy has definitely picked up for the Maroon squad.
But let's see what the news is on the sidelines. Pakinggan natin. Daphne Lozano, what do you have for us?
Sa panig naman ng St. Dominic Pikemen, head coach Bong de la Cruz mentioned that they are missing 4 of their players tonight, namely Sosing, Sanggalang, and Kapulong due to injuries he did not specify. Another one is their vital big man, Ken Alvaran, who is currently here to show his support, but he is not suited up tonight due to his tooth extraction recovery. Kahit nakulang sila, Coach Bong assured that whoever that's available has the ability to be the next man up. Bago pa man matapos ang kamustahan namin ni Coach, he emphasized on how he wants his team to just enjoy the game, lalo na yung makadikit sila at bigyan na magandang laban ang Fighting Maroons. After all, every game is a learning opportunity for them. Migs and Justin?
Thank you, Daphne. And apparently, undermanned pa pala itong St. Dominic Pikemen team na to. They don't have Sosing, they don't have Sanggalang, Kapulong, and Alvaran. Akala ko si Alvaran makakabalik na ngayon. Kasi apparently, yung tooth extraction, mas mahabang pahinga pa. Hindi ko na alam yun.
That's around 1 to 2 weeks, you know. Actually, I just had my tooth pulled out last month, and it took me out for a week and a half.
Ayun na nga. So apparently, we might be expecting Alvaran to be missing about a week more of games kasi nakalagpas na ilang araw, but hopefully we come back as Briones fished for that foul there, running into a wall of De Manuel.
So get well soon muna para kay Ken Alvaran and enjoy your ice cream muna.
After that extraction, yun nga naman yung pinapapak after, of course, to promote the healing. Referees looks like they're conferring this last call. And it looks like it was not in the shooting motion, so inbound lang naman para dito.
Babalik tayo sa baseline inbound.
Briones gets it inside against Zeze. Tries to use his footwork. Not sure about that one.
Crafty move though for Chico Briones.
Ginagawa ko yun siguro kapag scrimmage lang. Pero pag ganito, hindi sa time zone. Graduate na ako dun.
Half court na tayo.
Half court na. Power station na. Gets it across. Top of the key. Payosing. Hindi nakakuha. But another almost rebound for UP. But gets another chance. Hindi pa pinapasok dito ni Coach Goldwyn ang other UE Red Warrior in Rainer Maga. No? That's another recruit that the Fighting Maroons have under their sleeve. Of course, we all know Ray Remogat, the starting guard for UP. But they also have another Red Warrior in Rainer Maga.
Oh, Rainier Maga. Also a steady performance in their previous game, 10 points.
Remogat trying to shoot from 4-point land, could not convert. Timtiman will go against Remogat. Gets the double screen. Trying to look for Isaac. Shot clock reads 6 again. Timtiman, he's looking to shoot that 3. Shot clock winding down from all the way out. Could not connect, but again, those shots can be made by St. Dominic, but not the best of selections.
And once again, shot clock running down with 2 seconds left. That's when Timtiman launched that 3-pointer.
Baila ngayon ang maglalabas para sa UP. Up by 12. Baila, all day to shoot. Can't punish the defense. And Sepnyo collects it.
I was about to say, Baila being more of a facilitator in this early stage of this ball game, pero finally getting a shot attempt there.
Timtiman tries to go to work against Gagate. Hand off to Isaac. That's the shot. Cuts it down to 9 now. Gets it to 7. But in that specific instance, that's the one you want. I mean, not an easy 2 for 7 Gagate. A much smaller Ramir Emerenciana on him. Amante and De Manuel will check in for the pikemen.
Smart foul on the side of St. Dominic. But on the previous play, a very simple flare by Isaac and getting that 3-pointer.
7 Gagate, the recruit ng UP from Cebu. Also from the Chiang Kai-shek College program. Similar dito kay Cedric Ong. No? Ito yung mga gems and treasures ng Phil Chai tournaments dito sa Pilipinas. Cedric Ong coming from St. Stephen's. 7 Gagate coming from Chiang Kai-shek. Almost getting the O-Reb pa. Was UP there. And St. Dominic with a chance to trim it to single digits. Trying to look for Amante. Looks like Isaac will isolate against Gagate. Tries to go against it, but Remogat with the easy steal.
Once again, the length of UP coming into play on the defensive end.
Finds Gagate, extra pass to Briones. And we can see that St. Dominic is starting to double in that painted area, starting to bother UP. Shot clock reads 6. Remogat, he can score. He can also pass. Gives it to Baila. And that is the first shot clock violation of UP. And I think that's the first of this tournament. And that was forced by St. Dominic.
So UP on that possession, imitating the style of St. Dominic. Going through the full shot clock.
Pero parang hindi nila sinadya yun eh. I think they were trying to go for an earlier shot na thwart ng depensa ng St. Dominic and they had to go with the broken play. De Manuel all the way to the hole. Buwis buhay pero buwis din ang tira.
Tough miss there.
Trying to look for a foul was J. De Manuel, but looks like St. Dominic will have to look for another source of offense here. Remogat gets it to Baila all the way but blocked by Zeze. Excellent coverage by Max. De Manuel on Remogat. Let's see what play they have drawn up here. Zeze looking to give the pick. Gets the switch on Gagate. So it looks like that's their style, no? They try to get the switch on the big, but Amante scores on that drive. Parang yun yung nangyayari, no? The smaller guard, nagsaswitch yung bigger man, nagda-drive. It draws the big man inside, and there's the kick out and the drive and shot. Shot so nice, you gotta see it twice. Pero kasing ganda ng uniform ng referee natin. Magbabalik tayo after this timeout. Stay tuned, mga kaliga.
Only ML, only chikahan, plus data for all apps and sites. Sulit talaga, kaya lipat at load na sa TNT.
Welcome back mga kaliga. Nagbabalik tayo sa pagpapatuloy ng Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup. UP now sees their lead whittled down to 8 as St. Dominic continues to knock on the door. And ayaw talaga tigilan nitong Pikemen squad na to, and Briones, 2 misses from that spot. And J.D. Manuel, they had the switch earlier, but anything they could have done better on that, Justin?
You know, I realized that when they got the switch, we had Max Zeze, who was matched up with Ray Remogat. So he should have gotten it at the paint, you know, and go one-on-one with him, because definitely ang laki ng size advantage na yun.
And they ran the exact same play. J.D. Manuel to the hole, Amante with the finish. No defensive adjustment yet. And there's the spin by Iniguez. Remogat, top of the key. No good. And the tip-in by Baila. Almost a putback dunk. But Baila coming out of nowhere, flying from Katipunan. Gets the tip-in to go.
Maybe sparking him to get in the offensive column. Getting his first 2 points with tremendous fashion.
De Manuel against Briones. Tries to collect against Chico. Amante opting for the 3. Just back rims it. Pass to Baila. And I believe that's going to be a turnover for UP. Risky pass there for the Fighting Maroons. They had 2 pikemen already down, but they still went for the football pass. Another timeout here. UP up by 8. We'll be right back.
No worries, dahil only ang saya will TNT Saya All. May only FB, only IG, only Messenger, only TikTok, only ML, only chikahan, plus data for all apps and sites. Sulit talaga, kaya lipat at load na sa TNT.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
And now coming back into the remainder of the second quarter. 2 minuto pa ang natitira dito for both teams to make a statement coming into the second half. What has worked for both of these squads so far, Justin, in the first 20 minutes of ball?
Well, of course, let's talk about the second quarter. No? For UP, it was the offensive rebound and the sudden parang mas magandang energy nila dito sa second quarter. Pero on the side of St. Dominic naman, in the latter stages of the second quarter, their defense was picking up. Mas nagiging pesky na nga sila, as we said. And they're starting to convert and finding more options with J.D. Manuel and Chad Amante.
Yeah, definitely an evolution here for St. Dominic as he tries to get the switch. Gives it to Zeze. Could not convert, but another 3-second try here for St. Dom. Let's see what they got here.
A couple of quick hitter plays here for St. Dominic.
Sepnyo gets free. Extra pass to De Manuel. Excellent. That was the best play that they could have gotten from that one. Zeze almost with a steal. The pikemen outnumbered. Iniguez to Payosing. Skies for the layup but does not go. But that is trademark James Payosing. Kayang-kaya niya yung mga tira na yan, but well defended by St. Dominic. Props to the defense.
Pasok na yun eh. Just rolled out.
Zeze sets the pick. Sepnyo, he was hot last game, and the overheat continues. St. Dominic within 5. Remogat gets the top of the key pick. Baila inside. Another easy shot for UP.
Baila showing us his athletic abilities here in the second quarter.
It's flower picking time for UP whenever they're in the paint. Shot clock at 10 now. Trying to get that switch. De Manuel immediately attacks it. Kicks it out. Corner. Almost. Zeze looks like he tapped it out. And he did. Gagate will check in for James Payosing. Medyo rough start pa dito para kay James, but definitely a lot to be expected from this guy. We know what he can do on the basketball court. Tingnan natin if puputok siya sa second half.
But credits to St. Dominic right now. You know, the biggest lead was at 12 points, but they're coming with a mini run here to end the second quarter.
Good hustle by Zeze. Now with a chance for the last shot. A bit too late for a 2-for-1 now. So they can go for the last one. Guard on guard here. Shot clock at 3. Remogat gives up the foul. Apparently they have a lot more fouls to give. That was their first team foul of the entire quarter.
Smart foul to give there for Ray Remogat and the UP Fighting Maroons.
I think that's something that we can note coming into the second half. No? I mean, UP remained foul-less for the entirety of the 9 minutes and 50 seconds pa ng buong second quarter. But the defensive repercussions, of course, may consequences yan. De Manuel looking to the Kiwag. Give and go play, almost converting. Good intention but no conversion from the St. Dominic Pikemen on that last possession. 33-26, a 7-point cushion for the second string of the UP Fighting Maroons as we continue on to game number 1 between the Fighting Maroons Team 2 and the St. Dominic Pikemen. Babalik tayo sa continued coverage ng Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup. Stay tuned mga kaliga.
Do you love the game? This is our game. Play it straight.
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! The Only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
Mga Kaliga, you're still tuned in to Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup match between the St. Dominic Pikemen versus the UP Team 2. And before we proceed to the second half, I'm actually beside two fans from both teams today. But first, on my left side is Sir Jerry, an avid fan of the UP Fighting Maroons. Sir Jerry, thank you so much for joining me here in the half. So matanong ko lang po, how are you feeling right now, especially yung team nyo ang nasa kalamangan ngayon?
Actually, masaya ako kasi lamang yung UP na ipapakita nila kung ano talagang galing ang kanilang pinapakita sa court. Sana tuloy-tuloy na yon hanggang dulo.
Yun, tama yun. And now I'm giving you the chance kung may gusto po kayong batiin at pasalamatan sa mga nanonood ngayon.
Shout out to my friends who's here also. Si Al, si Nay Alvin, si Neo, and to all the UP community proud. And we're all proud of you. Ayan.
Thank you so much po, Jerry. And now, on my right side is the partner of Chad Amante from the St. Dominic Pikemen, Miss Kyla. Miss Kyla, thank you so much for joining me also here in the half. So matanong ko lang po, alam naman po natin na yung side nyo naman ang naghahabol. Pero alam naman natin na hindi naman masyado naglalayo din naman yung score nila. So any words of encouragement for the team, especially your partner, coming into the second half?
Kaya pa yan. Hindi pa naman huli ang laban lang. Yes.
And I'm giving you also the opportunity kung may gusto kang i-shoutout sa mga nanonood ngayon.
Hi to my family, Gonzales and Matubis, and especially to my friends, Kisha and Trisha.
Thank you so much, Miss Kyla. That is all for our halftime interview, mga Kaliga. Stay tuned because we will be back shortly.
We started ang family business talaga namin. Talaga sari-sari store ang negosyo namin. So sa sari-sari store namin, same building, meron kaming on the side na dress shop. Yan ang sabi ni Mama. Dress shop, hindi pa to sports. I mean, nagagawa lang kami, nagre-repair lang kami ng mga damit. From there, may pumunta sa kanyang friend or client na nagpagawa ng parang how many pieces of t-shirts. So from there, yung makina niya, kaya naman gawin yung shirt, doon na nag-start yung paggawa niya ng uniforms. Kung paano yung sinimulan ni Mama, siguro yun pa rin naman yung nararamdaman namin. Pero in a different perspective na. Talagang pag nanood ngayon tayo ng TV, when we watch yung different sports, kunyari nanood tayo ng basketball, makikita natin yung PBA. Pag nanood tayo ng volleyball, makikita natin yung LGR. Iba na yung pakiramdam na yung brand is overall, nakikita na lahat.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
My future.
Right? What's the plan?
I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
Do you love the game?
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! Only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
And we now return to the second half of the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup. The first game of our doubleheader ongoing now, and the next 20 minutes are about to play out. The St. Dominic Pikemen against the Team 2 of the UP Fighting Maroons. What happened in the first 20, Just?
Well, maganda talaga yung pinapakita ng UP Fighting Maroons, no? They're leading in the rebound and assist department. And I have to credit everything to Iniguez. You know, he has been showing up lately. A couple of jumpers, and pag nagko-close out yung mga defenders na finding the bigs in the paint. And to end the first half, Baila finally getting involved in the offense.
Yeah, I mean, Iniguez played a pretty passive role in their last game, but now taking on a more aggressive and active participation in this skirmish. So ngayon, it's great to see from them. And saktong-sakto sa top scorers natin, he leads everyone with 11 points. Briones with 8 and Gagate with 5 on the side of UP. Sa St. Dominic naman, Isaac with 8 points, 2 3-pointers there. Amante with 6 and Sepnyo with 3. So sa ngayon, di pa natin nakikitang umiinit yung mga ibang guardia ng St. Dominic. So definitely, still a lot of potential in the remaining 20 minutes. It's just a 7-point lead for UP here. Still ground to be made up, pero anything that St. Dominic should be taking note aside from being able to click from 3 here?
Well, St. Dominic is trailing by 7. Pero as we saw in the halftime stats, sa turnover department naman, sila ang lumalamang. They only have 2 turnovers as compared to UP 6.
Yep.
And that's what I was seeing in the second quarter. More scrappiness on the defensive end by St. Dominic.
Yep.
And shots are starting to fall, especially si Sepnyo hit one in the late second. And itong si Isaac is also finding his range from outside.
Remogat to open up the third quarter. Makes the 3 from the top of the key to get it up to 10. And once again, you are all watching the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup. You can catch our games live via www.pusopi.com, the Smart Sports Facebook page, the Pinoyliga Cup's Facebook and YouTube channel. Special thanks to our official venue partner, the ENDERUN Colleges, our official ticketing partner, Ticket to Me, our official outfitter, LGR. Special appreciation as well to our partners in Eastern Communications, Buffalo's Wings and Things, Smart, Amelie Hotel Manila, and Pinoyliga.com. We are also an official member of the SBP, or Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas. To open up the third quarter, Ray Remogat landing that 3 for UP, and now finding his way to the free throw line is the top scorer, Miguel Iniguez.
And before getting that foul, he did get an offensive rebound, so another chance at the basket for the UP Fighting Maroons.
I'd say kasi may trio yung UP ngayon that's going very well for them. No? With all very similar styles of play, similar heights, and they are Jacob Baila, Miguel Iniguez, and itong si Chico Briones. Lahat sila, they have their own unique offensive arsenals. They all have their own sets of IQ. And para kang may second guard eh. Yun yung maganda whenever they're on the floor. Ipagsabay-sabay mo pa sila. With a court general like Ray Remogat and the anchor in the middle with Francis Noroka. Arguably, I'd say this is the best 5 that UP has for team number 2.
No, I do agree with you with that statement of yours. And ang ganda nga ng sinabi mo about those 3, no? They're very versatile and they play the same position.
De Manuel landing that top of the key 3, but Noroka did not appreciate that foul across the face. Not sure if that was a shooting foul. We'll confirm with the referee. But looking at the side of St. Dominic naman, obviously they're a lot under height. I mean, it's Jay De Manuel, you have Joseph Timtiman, you have Jesse Sabayo pa, one of the curve breakers na reverse in terms of height ng St. Dominic. Pero na-offset yun ng isang active big man na si Max Zeze. I mean, medyo hilaw pa in terms of his offensive arsenal. But that's the beauty of it eh. Developmental pa siya. And you're already going up against high-caliber teams. Speaking of high-caliber, Ray Remogat going back-to-back on his 3-point trip. But dito mo na siya pwedeng ihubog specifically sa sistema mo in St. Dominic eh. Nakakarating mo lang sa Pilipinas. You're playing the Philippine brand of basketball. And now, St. Dominic has an FSA.
And you're saying that Max Zeze is still a project as of now. Pero we also forget na he's a new player in the St. Dominic squad.
Yes.
So meron pa siyang getting to know face with his teammates and the style of Philippine basketball na.
Wala pa siyang isang buwan just sa programa ng St. Dominic, and of course also yung chemistry with teammates. But Ray Remogat looking to shoot the lights out para matchy na daw sa labas kasi gabi na dito. 7:10 p.m. May mga nagdi-dinner na siguro. Perfect time to watch some Pinoy Liga.
Welcome to the Philippines pala tong Collegiate Cup para kay Max Zeze.
Yes. Timtiman out to Isaac. Well covered by UP. That's in his arsenal. Could not land it. Nandun yung stroke eh. But good offense there from St. Dominic to lure in actually the defense of UP there.
If you can get Max Zeze to take those outside perimeter jumpers, then good defense na yun.
Pero St. Dominic has to make them na eh. Yun yung nagiging because yes, main part ng offense nila yung 3-pointers, but ngayon hirap na sila makaka-drive as Max Zeze lands the 3-pointer, and that's what we've been talking about. Developmental, yes, but he has that stroke. Something that he can evolve though is his inside game. But St. Dominic on the break gives it to Zeze. High off the glass. No cleanup. Remogat gets it. Noroka brings down the ball with Ray. Kick out to Chico. Sets his feet. Lets it fly, but could not get it to go. And see how St. Dominic rebounds now as in comparison to the first half, no? Kapag nag-rebound sila, parang lahat sila bakal na holen. Tapos may magnet sa pintura. Lahat sila, I mean, look at that. Look at the box out they have on Iniguez. 2 guys. You have Zeze, you have Isaac, tapos Alaurin already ready for that loose ball. Pero as the action heats up, pakinggan naman natin ang ating courtside reporter, Daphne Lozano. Daphne?
Made sure to play his role as the team captain against the Mapua Cardinals, where they were rewarded with their second win. Kinwento nga sa akin ni Edward na yung panalo nila against Mapua is a huge energy booster for them, making them believe na kahit sa ang tournament kapag galing ay bilog ang bola, anything can happen. Dinagdag pa niya na ang pinanghahawakan nila as a team, aside from their preparation, ay yung brotherhood nila, yung chemistry nila in and outside the hard court. So let's see if they'll be able to defeat the UAAP reigning champs as they did to the NCAA reigning champs last Sunday with the remaining time left. Justin and Migs.
Thank you, Daphne. And actually ngayon, Battle of Champions din to. The last game of St. Dominic, they went up against the NCAA champion. Tinambakan nila yon. Minus Clint Iscamis and Cuenco and
Recto.
And Recto, of course. Pero still, a very jam-packed lineup ng Mapua. They had Rex de los Reyes, Gulapa, Yam Concepcion. Halos walang kulang. Actually, si Prince Charming lang yung nawala. Pero this time, they're up against the UAAP champions. And kahit nahati sa dalawa yung team ng UP, this is already a very star-studded inventory.
Oh, kahit nahati yung team nila, you know, that's what I was saying about UP. You see the others step up eh. Nakakita mo yung the capabilities of these guys with a star-studded squad like this.
And coming up with a steal is Jacob Baila. Showtime. Medyo kulang pa sa spring. Kulang sa Gatorade. Kinrap siya yata siya doon.
But you saw it in the way he jumped. You know he wanted to throw it down.
Yung collect, kaya eh.
Baka na ilang lang kay, was that Limanuel?
Yep. Dakiwag tries to dance with Iniguez. But good defense by Migs. Zeze. Nasaraduhan ni Noroka, but a bit too romantic was Francis against Max Zeze.
Pushing foul on number 9, Francis Naruga.
Si Briones to start this, well, basically even in the second quarter, medyo nanlamig siya ng onte, you know? Of course, he opened the ball game with two 3-pointers right away, but hasn't been successful in the scoring department so far.
Yun yung kailangan pa kay Zeze. Because if you work your pivot foot, but you need to have the upper body strength to at least push back your defender a bit more and maybe get up a fadeaway or use that up and under move. And the tallest man on the floor for Howard Alaurin, itong si Jesse Sabayo. The tallest heart. The tallest player. Tallest heart.
Definitely a fan favorite. Hindi lang sa crowd eh, pero sa atin din eh. Dito sa panel.
Shot clock reads 3. Sabayo up against a huge defender, Zeze, to beat the shot clock. Gets it up and in. And now within 5. I think that was whistled as a 2. Collects. Could not convert. Sabayo tries to tap the ball. There comes Jesse. Sabayo. Drop off to the Kiwag. Blocked at the apex. Excellent defense by Baila. But Sabayo resets. Up against Noruka. David versus Goliath. Does not get the switch. Almost gets it to Sepnyo, but credit the guts by Jesse Sabayo to drive against Francis Noruka and getting 2 steps ahead of him. At that, na-intercept lang yung cross-court pass niya.
Loving the confidence, calling for the clear out against Noruka.
Winave off niya eh. I don't need you guys. Not right now.
Sabi niya, mismatch, clear out. ISO.
That was Moses with the Red Sea right there. And I think Baila got away with a... Nope, that's a 3-second violation. Kala ko travel eh. Hindi pala. Looked like a solid jab step to dribble naman yun. I was like, baka may hindi ako nakita. But it's 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter and it's just a 5-point game. Justin, we are being treated here with some Tuesday night delight.
Yes, sir.
If you know what I'm saying. I mean, just a 5-point game between UP and St. Dominic. Maybe a lot of people were expecting this to be a landslide victory for UP, pero St. Dominic getting them a run for their money.
Especially, nagkukulang nga ng mga big men itong St. Dominic, but still holding their own here.
Corner now, inside to Iniguez. Misses on that one. But Gagate, being the big man inside. Baila against Zeze. That's what Jacob Baila does for you. Kapag nakakuha siya ng painted area, yung iba angat na tira, pero ito, he takes it right up your chest. Timtiman against Gagate. Zeze is waved off. Tries to take him one-on-one. Tries to put on the brakes. Dakiwag. Out to Timtiman. That's their shot. Yes, sir! 4-point game now for St. Dominic.
In St. Dominic-like fashion, draining the shot clock, and Timtiman bailing them out with that three-pointer from the middle.
And UP fails to capitalize there with a turnover after a made three. Pero ngayon, papasok na. UP has a giant slayer of their own, and his name is RV Poyos. Coming from Sultan Kudarat in Mindanao, this man's speed is unparalleled. His basketball IQ knows no match. Definitely a huge asset for this Fighting Maroon squad. Isaac, corner triple, inista mo na yan! St. Dominic finding their groove here, and the Pikemen bench and the crowd is absolutely loving it. UP could not extinguish, but Gagate stops the bleeding.
Oh, exactly, big basket there, and yun nga, pamatay sunog yung basket ni Seven Gagate.
Pero mukhang UP, nakikita na nila yung play. It's just that they can't stop it. Zeze, rim run. Could not convert, just not enough English. All the way to the basket. I believe that was Payosing. Ball goes back to St. Dom. Could not capitalize again was UP. Parang nakikipag-exchange, parang 6.2 point swing lang sila eh.
Sayang yung tira ni Max Zeze dun. I don't know if he overshot the basket, but it could have been a more simpler layup.
Yeah. And sinasabi na kagad ni Coach Bong na you had a clear look at the basket, just go for the simple finish. I understand that there was a trailer, but you're Max Zeze.
Yeah.
Sabi nga. Isaac, handoff to Timtiman. Kick out to Dakiwag. Corner is short. Poyos ahead of everybody. Swings it to Iniguez. Payosing. Wild shot, does not get it to go. As Amirenciana and Gagate being a bit too romantic.
Good drive para kay James Payosing, running into two white shirts and drawing the foul on the floor.
So now it's gonna be free throws for James Payosing. Papasok naman si Chico Briones para kay Jacob Baila. Pahinga muna si Baila. Si Briones medyo lumamig siya coming from the first half. No? He landed those corner triples to give UP that early margin, but now being put back with less than 2 minutes remaining in the third.
Oh, not finding so much success here in the third quarter. Had a couple of jumpers, good line, but hitting the side of the ring.
Payosing makes both. St. Dominic with a plan of attack. Swings it out to Amirenciana. Gets the pick from Zeze. Amante looking for backup. Shot clock reads 5. Familiar St. Dom territory. But overshoots it. Payosing. He smells blood. But Dakiwag thwarts it enough. Oh, it looks like Dakiwag with a slight limp. I think he twisted his ankle on that attempt against Payosing. Looks like he's okay now though.
Something to just to shake off.
Pero parang humahawak siya sa tuhod niya. Poyos into Iniguez, blocked by Zeze. Excellent help by Max. St. Dom with a chance to cut it to a one-possession game. It feels like the fourth quarter already. Dakiwag against Poyos. Poyos trying to clamp up Dakiwag, but hindi succeeds. Gagate out to Briones. Inside again to Iñiguez. Good help defense, but good patience. Hindi lang nakapag-execute si Seven doon.
Oh, patience was on point, but it's a little too strong for Seven Gagate.
Coach Bong de la Cruz telling his guys to slow it down a bit. Zeze provides the screen. Noruka set to check in for UP. Shot clock reads 5. Isaac, pull up three-pointer. Yes, sir! In your face. UP looking to answer. Let's see what the Fighting Maroons have against this St. Dominic offense. Inside to Gagate. Almost a chase down block by Chad. But what a way to end the third quarter. Alvin Isaac ay stubig yung dumadaloy sa buhok nito. Yung mallet nito napakalakas. As St. Dominic is just down by 3 against this Fighting Maroons team, and UP has to find some fuel for the fire here if they want a chance to get up to 3-1. This is the continued coverage of the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup, 45-48 in favor of UP. We'll be right back for more action. Stay tuned.
Hindi aabot ang data! Nice!
Don't worry! Be only with Smart Power All 99. Hindi nabitin with 10 gig data plus only Facebook or TikTok and more. Load now!
No worries dahil only ang saya will TNT Saya All. May only FB, only IG, only Messenger, only TikTok, only ML, only Chikahan, plus data for all apps and sites. Sulit talaga, kaya lipat at load na sa TNT.
30 minutes have passed and another 10 minutes of play here as we are going to be indulged into the fourth quarter for UP Fighting Maroons Team 2 against the St. Dominic Pikemen for the first game of our doubleheader today this Tuesday. Gabi na pero parang ang init ng araw sa loob ng court, especially for the Pikemen having a lot of luck from 3, pouring over from that Mapua game last time.
Yeah, St. Dominic started out the third quarter. What I noticed was their gang rebounding. They finally have been limiting UP to just one shot per possession.
Yeah.
And syempre, Chico Briones nga, as we said, was struggling. But it really was the outside shooting of Tim Timan and Isaac, especially in that last part of the third quarter. Kaya 3 points na lang ang labang ng UP.
And malaking bagay yun, no? I mean, especially if you're up against a team as big as UP and limiting them to a one shot per possession. Malaking bagay yun. But once again, you are watching the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup, mga kaliga. You can catch our games live here at the ENDERUN Titan Gym at the Gig City. You can catch our games live as well at the www.pusop.com, the Pinoyliga Cup's Facebook and YouTube channel, the Smart Sports Facebook page. Special thanks to our partners in Amalie Hotel Manila, our official outfitter LGR, our official venue partner ENDERUN Colleges, official ticketing partner Ticket to Me, our partners in Buffalo's Wings and Things, Eastern Communications, Smart Sports, and we're also a proud member of the Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas. St. Dominic almost losing the ball. Amante has his shot rim out. Payosing now. Hindi pa masyadong umiinit itong si James Payosing. On him is Dave Manuel. Noruka. Payosing asking for it. Poyos gives the assist. And a bit too long. As referees whistle an offensive foul against UP.
First minute of action. I'm seeing great defensive coverages from both teams.
Yep.
Ang ganda ng switching nila. And the communication is on point for both sides.
Yeah, and it feels more like a championship game now between UP and St. Dominic. I mean, nagpapalitan na sila kanina, pero now they come up with a more, I don't want to say just energy, but more intention with their possessions. Zeze, trying to spin away from trouble, but spins into Noroka. Poyos to inside, Zeze with a steal. Zeze tries to posterize, but Poyos with a lucky break there. Hindi na siya sumabay. Business decision. And referee with a travel. So Poyos did not only commit that turnover, he almost got posterized. And he got whistled for the travel as well. So he's gonna be taking a break for now for Coach Goldwyn. Uupo din itong si Payosing. Yung big three mukhang ay, hindi pa pala. Wala pa si Iniguez. Briones with some shouting orders for his team. Tim Timan, one of the larger contributors as well for St. Dominic. Trying to go against Noruka. There's the handoff to Isaac. Great execution, just could not finish. But that's the play that St. Dominic wanted.
It was the right shot as well.
Noruka, tinatry mang mama sa loob. Di lang napasok yung tira na yun.
Foul on number 34, and Zeze.
And that's gonna be a foul on Max Zeze. Take a look at this replay, no? Noruka. Good attack against Zeze. Medyo hindi lang nga lang natapos. And we've seen a lot of huge talents from UP with na may same height ni Noruka. No? We have Kingsley Odudo. We have etong si Celson Njiga in the next Man Cup. And who could forget Bright Akweti? I mean, that gave the entire UAAP nightmares kahit off-season. Naalala nila pa rin yung bangga ni Bright. And yung post-up game ni Akweti.
And I remember he even played in the finals with, I think it was a bad knee.
But it didn't matter. It didn't matter for Bright. De Manuel to the hole. Blocked by the UP defense. Noruka. Good tap away by Isaac, but UP stays. Briones, short. And parang bibigyan na ng piggyback ride si Isaac si Noruka. The other way around.
That's his first.
And Iniguez now checks in for Gagate. A more perimeter-oriented squad here for UP. And it looks like this is their starting five, if I'm not mistaken.
The insertion of Iniguez gives them a different look on offense. Parang there's more options
for threats
for them.
Na.
Yes.
Yep. Pakinggan naman natin ang ating courtside reporter, Daphne Lozano. Daphne?
Chico Briones of the UP Fighting Maroons has been very vocal about his dad, former PBA player Lowell Briones, on having a huge influence on him in and outside the court. He shared to me that his dad always reminded him to make God the center of everything, to always trust in his ways, most especially that he is taking up a huge responsibility after the departure of Francis Lopez. He tries to mute the external noises and internal pressure. Chico also added that his main goal this offseason is to really get better, specifically in defense. Being self-aware of his strengths and weaknesses, he is more than ready to work on himself to become an effective player of the team. Migs and Justin.
Thank you, Daphne. And ito parang si Chico Briones. We only call him Chico kasi yun yung palayaw niya. Pero his name is Lowell Briones Jr. Apparently, basketball running in the blood here. And wala na tayong duda sa offensive arsenal ng batang to. But it looks like he's very self-aware sa mga areas for improvement niya. He garnered the Player of the Game award last time. Goes corner hunting now. And that shot is as pure as real gold. Tama-tama, Goldwyn Monteverde, head coach ng UP. 10-point lead now for the Fighting Maroons. We'll be right back for more action.
dahil only ang saya will TNT Saya All. May only FB, only IG, only Messenger, only TikTok, only ML, only chikahan, plus data for all apps and sites. Sulit talaga, kaya lipat at load na sa TNT.
Enjoy high-speed internet with one of Smart's best ever promos. Whether you need big data on a budget or worry-free Unli internet, get these Smart Wi-Fi promos today.
My future.
Right? What's the plan? I have a plan. The new Smart Junior Plan. Made for me. For only learning, only experiences, only connections at just $4.99. It's a plan as good as yours. New Smart Junior Plan.
We were talking about Chico Briones before we head into the timeout. I think you were wanting to add something, Justin?
No, ang laking tulong talaga when you have, someone in the family who's played professional basketball.
Yeah.
Chico Briones
Siyempre.
last year was somewhat of a, I would say, a project player.
Na-overshadow siya
Oo.
ng ibang contributors ng UP.
Kung hindi man project player, yun nga, overshadowed kasi sa sobrang stack ng lineup ng UP. Pero that affects you mentally eh. If you don't have the right support system, minsan it can get in your head, you can get frustrated, baka lumipat na ng school yan.
Yeah.
Pero I'm sure it was his dad keeping him in check na you will have your time, and I think it's about to happen this year.
Yeah, they stayed the course. Most importantly, as we see St. Dominic staring down the barrel of a shotgun now, medyo nakalapit sila ng second and third quarter, but now they are on the short end of the stick with a 10-point lead here for UP. With 7 minutes remaining, St. Dominic just has to keep doing what they were doing earlier. Those handoffs sa tres gumagana siya. And yung drive after that switch, kicking out to that shooter, gumagana siya.
And it's a slow start para sa St. Dominic for this fourth quarter. It's a 7-0 run.
Yeah.
With the first 3
Oh,
minutes
it's a
of this
7-0
quarter.
run, yeah.
No, they ended with 45 and it's still stuck at 45 right now.
Dakiwag inbounds into Timtiman. So St. Dominic has Timtiman, Dakiwag, De Manuel, Zeze, and Sepnyo. UP has Remogat, Noruca, Briones, Baila, and Iñiguez. De Manuel now on Baila. Attacks the defense but could not get it to go. Good defense there by Baila. I was expecting a block. Baila trying to get it to Noruca. Excellent fight back by Sepnyo. Good rotation here by St. Dominic, but finds Remogat open, makes the defense pay.
And the drought continues for St. Dominic. It is now a 10-0 run.
But they have to take one possession at a time. Hindi sila pwedeng masyadong ma-agit dito. Kasi dito nito-test yung composure ng St. Dominic, no? I mean, UP, alam na natin to. They have a legacy of winning. They have a legacy of coming under that pressure. Nakita nga natin, ang daming beses nakalapit to. But now, they're starting to break away with this 13-point lead.
And for St. Dominic, we've seen them come back. The biggest lead, aside from now, was at 12 points in the second quarter. And they ended that second with a 7-point deficit.
Dakiwag tries from 3. Hindi pa rin talaga bumabagsak yun para kay Dakiwag. Remogat. Out to Baila. Back to the hot hand. Could not convert. On the floor now is Baila. Sorry, is Iñiguez.
Immediate impact agad para kay Iñiguez, getting an offensive rebound and going to the line.
We see that shot, no? Pero hindi solid yung box out kay Iñiguez eh. So nakuha niya yung putback attempt doon. Now 2 free throws here.
Ganda ng presence of mind niya sa play na yun. Even though he didn't have a clear shot at the basket, he knew he was gonna get fouled and just threw it up.
And a good thing about this UP squad, no? Laging, kapag sila naglalaro, regardless if eliminations, quarterfinals, play-ins, the crowd they attract is really, really supportive and loyal to them eh. Na kahit saan yung venue natin, Amoranto, Paco, Tanduay, dito sa ENDERUN, of course, our official venue partner ng ENDERUN College, talagang sumusunod sila.
Oo.
And it's not just the familiar faces. Padagdag ng padagdag every game that passes.
Padagdag ng padagdag yung 6th man nila, no?
6th, 7th, hanggang 30th, hanggang 50th. And Zeze being pushed away on that last possession. So ball will go back to St. Dominic.
That's his fourth personal foul.
As we are now up to a 15-point lead na medyo late na nag-bloom para sa UP dito.
And one thing I love about the UP basketball team and its whole community is, you know, the professionalism that they have coming into any league that they join. They're here 2 hours before doing their mobility work. Tapos yung mga SNC coaches nila may dalang mga tools for activations. Very holistic approach eh.
Zeze is trapped in the corner there. Baila just snatching it away.
Ball possession, UP Fighting Maroons.
And the ball will go back to UP here. As Zeze was caught trapped along the baseline. Remogat. UP can go for the nail in the coffin here, or they can just maintain their lead. Extra pass to Baila. Iniguez carves out space, hits the tough fade. And St. Dominic has seen enough. They have to rethink their plan of attack here as they are now down by 17. We'll be right back after this break. Stay tuned, mga kaliga. Welcome back mga kaliga. Patuloy po tayong nagko-cover ng Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup. You can catch our games live at the www.pusop.com, the Smart Sports Facebook page, and the Pinoyliga Cup's Facebook and YouTube channel. Special thanks to our official venue partner, the ENDERUN Colleges, our official outfitter, LGR, our official ticketing partner, Ticket to Me. Special thanks to our partners as well in Eastern Communications, Buffalo's Wings and Things, Smart, Amelie Hotel Manila, and Pinoyliga.com. We are also a proud member of the Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas. Isaac trying to look for backup here. Finds the Kiwag. Being tracked down by Briones. And on that kickout, referee's whistle. No count. That's going to be a foul on Chico Briones.
7-7. Lowell Briones Jr.
With a little over 5.5 minutes remaining, St. Dominic has still been scoreless here in the fourth quarter.
Hindi pa rin nakaka-breach ng 45. With 4 minutes remaining, this is very dangerous territory for St. Dom. Zeze all the way to the basket but blocked by Noruka. Tracked down to perfection. Remogat. Pull up Baila. Iniguez. Noruka with the save. Baila stays with it. With some space. In and out. Sabayo will reset. On him is Baila. Gagata set to check in for UP. Takiwag. Being trapped here by that Iniguez defense. Into the corner. Sepnyo. Corner, no. But that's the shot you want if you're the pikeman. Sabayo. Sepnyo again. Still no good.
They're getting good looks but the shots just aren't falling down anymore for the pikemen.
Remogat, the hot hand. Almost extended it to 20. Sabayo hands it off to Ed. Back to Jesse. Three-pointer on the way. A bit too strong. And that could be the nail on the coffin here.
was about to say the last 3 attempts, but it's been the whole quarter.
Wala
No
na.
shots have been falling down for them.
It's just that they're getting quality looks. It's just that they haven't been converting. And parang yung gang rebounding nila medyo nawala.
Oh.
Sabayo gets it inside to Zeze. Blocked again by Noruka. This paint is mine. Could have gotten away with a goaltend, but a highlight nonetheless. Baila to Noruka. On him is Zeze. Almost loses the ball. Gets it to Sabayo. Isaac. Two-man game with Jesse. And kahit first basket pa na St. Dominic, timeout kagad ang tinawag ng Fighting Maroons. 15-point cushion. We'll be right back. And head coach Bong de la Cruz has had a chance to talk things over with his squad. They're down 15 here. What do they do?
Well, obviously they lost energy here in the fourth quarter. One play that I feel like stood out was when they were contesting for that goaltending basket. And na-deflate yung energy nitong St. Dominic. But, you know, it was still early. It was around 6 minutes in the fourth. You know, they should not have let that affect them. And now it has ballooned to 15 already. And I would say this game is already with the side of the Fighting Maroons.
And aside from the energy, no, I'd say that the good looks that they did have, they just failed to convert. They had some decent looks down the stretch. It's just that they could not find the bottom of the net regardless of what they did. As we approach now the last 2-minute mark in the ball game. Brought to you by Smart 5G. Mamaya lalabas yan dyan. But Dakiwag dribbling into trouble and finds himself at the free throw line now. It was a good move by Dakiwag.
Very impressive move.
With an end one pa pala.
A highlight, but I don't know, maybe a case of too little, too late.
Not enough time now. But converts the end one regardless. Yep, these last 2 minutes brought to you by Smart 5G. Virones out to Baila. Trying to find Iniguez. That's that similar play again by UP and Gagate. Baby food inside.
Started off the game with the interior passing and looking to end it on the same way.
Sabayo looks to hand it off to Dakiwag. There's the open three by Ed. Just a bit off. Poyos now against Sabayo. Outside to Briones. Gagate again with back-to-back points in the painted area.
They really went back to their strong suit. The two initial possessions, same sequence, same result.
Parang nag-explore bigla ng personality itong UP. Somewhere in the second and third quarter, but now, sabi siguro ni head coach Goldwyn, let's go back to basics. Sep nyo, pati yung tira nyo nawawala na rin. Down the other way is Baila and gets that easy basket inside with the bump and the foul.
It was the long strides of Jacob Baila. Those long strides giving him the continuation.
You know, that's the inside cross and an inside hand finish.
And I believe UP winning this ball game will put them in the #1 seed in the Edge Division.
They will. So if they win, they now propel their record to 3-1. But St. Dominic will go down to 2-1. Timeout muna ang tinawag dito. We'll be right back. Mga Kaliga, stay tuned.
No worries dahil only ang saya will TNT Saya All. May only FB, only IG, only Messenger, only TikTok, only ML, only chikahan, plus data for all apps and sites. Sulit talaga, kaya lipat at load na sa TNT.
And we are about to reach the end of game number 1 as UP cements their spot for this first skirmish, 69-50, with 46 seconds remaining here in the fourth. Both teams the penalty. St. Dominic with no three-pointers falling here in the entirety of the fourth. Energy just deflated, and UP saw that weakness, and they're a shark in blood-infested waters here.
Really losing the the will to win in that last 6 minutes of this game.
Isaac off to Dakiwag. Tries to find Sepnyo, but Dakiwag works on Baila. Tries to find the cutter, but Briones collects it. Poyos into Briones. Just trying to waste away the clock now for the final remaining moments of the fourth. Baila outside to Chico. 4 seconds remaining. Baila inside. Offhand finish is good.
Naalala ko tuloy yung Breaking Bad dun sa sinabi mo, yung when you mentioned Poyos' name. Eh. Ano mo ba yun? Yung Poyos Hermanos?
Oh, kaya pala familiar yung term. Yep. And that is going to be the end of the first game. 71-50. A 21-point stronghold for the Fighting Maroons as they best themselves over the St. Dominic College of Asia Pikemen for the first series of our doubleheader. And later on, we'll be catching the UP Fighting Maroons Team 1 against the LPU Pirates. So stay tuned mga kaliga, we'll be right back after these hymns from our schools.
Of the game with 15 points for 14 rebounds, 5 assists. Number 30, Miguel Iniguez.
And our best player of the ball game is Migs Iniguez with 15 points.
Hello mga kaliga, I am now beside our best player of the game from the UP Fighting Maroons, Migs Iniguez with 15 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. A double-double performance from Migs. Congratulations, Migs, on finally getting the dub for tonight. So we all do know that the Pikemen were able to manage to cut the lead into 3 once the third quarter has ended. But coming the fourth quarter, you guys were able to regain the lead. What do you think went right that time?
I think we made adjustments to our zone offense. We really moved the ball well. We started looking inside more, and then we were able to collapse the defense and kick it out to our shooters. So.
And how important do you think is this win for the team, especially that you finally defeated the undefeated so far in your bracket?
I need one more repeat because they were distracting.
Should I repeat the question for you? To repeat the question, how important is this win for you guys, most especially that you were able to defeat the undefeated so far in your bracket?
It was a good win. I mean, they're a really strong opponent. They're really shooters. It was a good test for us. A test for our zone defense, man defense. Yeah, it was just a good test for us and helped us get a lot better.
And now, Migs, I'm giving you the opportunity to greet and thank anyone that you'd like who's watching this live.
Thank you to my mom. She's watching from Bicol. Happy Mother's Day. I miss you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Migs. Once again, that is our best player of the game. Back to you, Migs and Justin.
Thank you, Daphne. And once again, that was our best player of the ball game with Migs Iniguez. A double-double performance with 15 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists, propelling the UP Fighting Maroons Team 2 to a 3-1 record. And St. Dominic goes down 1 notch with a 2-1. Abangan naman natin ang pangalawang laro ngayon, the LPU Pirates against the UP Fighting Maroons Team 1. It's a night of UP tonight for the Pinoyliga Collegiate Cup. So abangan natin yan mga kaliga. Once again, this was Migs Gonzalez, Justin Almeida, Daphne Lozano, and on behalf of the entire production team, thank you very much for your continued support to the Pinoy Liga. We'll see you for game number 2.
Do you love the game? By either giving or receiving a bribe. Never share inside information with anyone who could use